Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
Let's stick with the digital currency space and bring in Kris Marszalek. He's the CEO of Crypto.com, which last week announced a partnership with Trump Media and a blank check vehicle to launch a new crypto treasury business. Its focus, buying up Crypto.com's own token known as Kronos or Crow. I think, Kris, it's one of those stories where we start with the basics. Where did the idea come from to do this, of a Kronos treasury company? Where did it originate?
I think it's a little bit of a trend by now, and pioneered by Michael Saylor of MicroStrategy. And I think every single blockchain from the top, say, 20 will have a leading treasury company that will be focusing on driving demand for it and acquiring as much as physically possible. And we thought that partnering with Trump Media to do so is just the perfect match.
So there are a number of initiatives between Crypto.com and Trump Media, or the broader Trump family. Where did that relationship start? Who did you first meet, and how long have you held those relationships?
So I think it dates back a couple of years, and we always look forward to working with people who are pro-crypto, who want to help drive this industry forward. And I think it has to be said that both the current administration and specifically Trump Media Technology Group has already done a lot in this space. We've helped them execute on their Bitcoin treasury strategy with a multi-billion-dollar Bitcoin purchase. We help them custody their coins. So we provide infrastructure. And this new play on CRO is just an extension of the relationship.
Extension of a relationship that broadens out to ETFs, that broadens out to payments and subscription creation. But it also broadens out the conversation that people are having about, more broadly, benefits to the Trump's broader family when it comes to crypto, Kris. When you're having those conversations with friends, with family, how do you talk about whether or not there might be any conflicts of interest, which I will reiterate, the family and indeed spokespeople for the administration would say there are none?
And, you have to agree with their statement, because everything is held in blind trust, and this is a public company that operates independently. And, we are still a privately held company, but we love partnering with people who want to really take this industry forward. So I think people need to understand that the administration has set a certain agenda which places cryptocurrency industry at the very center of it, with setting out a very ambitious role for America in this space, and anything we can do to help, we'll do so. We'll support it.
What's interesting is you say you're still privately held. What are the plans for Crypto.com more broadly? We're just hearing of IPOs of Gemini and the like. Would you ever think of an IPO? Would you ever think about selling parts of the business?
Right. I have to admit, it's quite tempting to consider these options, given how richly the market values crypto companies these days. We certainly have the numbers to do so. We've done about $1.5 billion in revenue last year, about $1 billion in gross profit, reinvested about $700 million of it, so let's say $300 million net profitability. This year, I think it's going to be better, especially if we see the Fed rate cut and a strong Q4 following. So we have the numbers, and we've been approached by all the top names in terms of the investment banks. We want to be a very well-run company, so we are working on preparing everything, but no decisions have been made at this point. We think that we actually enjoy operating as a private company. It allows us to move really fast. Right. We've got a solid balance sheet, so we don't have to make any decisions in the short term.
Some breaking news this morning that you're looking at starting sports prediction markets, particularly for the NFL. That's so interesting. There was market reaction from some of the established players in that space, right? Explain how it's going to work, but why?
Look, we think that prediction markets are going to be huge. And sports is a part of it, but it's not the whole thing. And if there's any company out there, a large business that wants to build out a prediction market operation, we are the perfect infrastructure partner. We are regulated by the CFTC. We've got battle-tested trading technology, very robust APIs, all the best market makers. We want to be the liquidity center for prediction markets onshore in the US. So we'll play very aggressively in that space.
And you're someone who's comfortable perhaps in markets that regulation is always trying to catch up with, Kris. It's interesting that the CFTC federal courts are still debating whether ultimately sports prediction markets count as gambling. How do you think about the regulatory process, having given what you've lived through when it comes to crypto?
I think it's new space and it's going to evolve, and the regulatory setup is going to have to evolve with it. We've gone through this journey of cryptocurrency, so we are used to being in the role of a trusted counsel to regulators and helping them understand how they can do their job effectively while allowing market participants to make use of these wonderful instruments.
Just very quick, Kris, do you expect that this could be some sort of meaningful contribution to revenues this year? You kindly gave us your financials for last year. Just model it out for us.
I think it's still, it's not going to be a massive contributor this year, but we're also very aggressive in pricing for our partners. Like, it's all about building liquidity right now. But if you look at what's it going to be in like 5 years' time, I think it's going to be a massive business line for us.
Crypto.com CEO Kris Marszalek. It's great speaking with you.